Hello there, this is the Health Channel. Today we talk on infant constipation, specifically on how to know if your child is having constipation. So constipation is when your child is experiencing hard stools, they strain more to pass them, and they are infrequent. What we need to remember, our poop is influenced by the type of food we eat. So for infants who are breastfed, purely breastfed, that means they're exclusively breastfed. It means they usually poop more frequently. Their poop is usually soft, mustard yellow, and sometimes as they grow older, they can go for up to 1 week, 7 days of not passing poop. As long as they will not have the symptoms that we are going to explain in a minute, then that is still okay. As long as your baby is still breastfeeding, that is still okay. If your infant is on formula milk, they can also skip a day or two without passing poop, but it should not go for more than 2 days without passing poop. If this is the case, please remember to see a pediatrician because you could be dealing with constipation. What we also need to note is that normally infants strain when passing poop. So as long as the straining does not go for more than 10 minutes, as long as the straining does not produce the stools that are hard, as long as the straining does not make a baby cry, it is still okay. What are the actual symptoms of constipation? Number one, fussiness. If your child all of a sudden is fussy more than normal and they've not pooped for more than 2 days if they're taking formula, please see a pediatrician. If your child's stools are hard, they've strained for maybe 5-6 minutes and the stools are hard and they have blood stains, please see a pediatrician. If the frequency of the pooping has all of a sudden changed and your child is having all the other symptoms that we're explaining, please see a pediatrician. If your child's feeding has gone down and they have not passed poop of late, please see a pediatrician. We talk on some of the things we could do at home to ease constipation. As we said, constipation is when you have infrequent stools that are hard and the child strains a lot to pass them. So if your child is having these symptoms, you can try some of these things at home to ease the constipation. The first thing is exercising. You know, as adults, if you sit around for so long without moving, you're prone to get constipation. This does not exclude the infants. So for an infant to pass bowels, exercising is very important. So how do we exercise our infants? The commonest is usually the bicycle trick. So usually you lie your infant down on their back, you take their legs up and mimic as if they're riding a bike. You can do this for up to 5 minutes, 3 or 4 times in a day. This will really help to remove the gas from the stomach and also to increase the bowel movements, which eventually will make your baby go to the toilet. The second thing is dietary change. This is usually the commonest cause of constipation. When you have wrong diet in, be sure to have difficulties in removing the leftover through poop. So for a child who's on exclusive breastfeeding and they're experiencing constipation, we usually tell the mom to look at what they are consuming. We are going to have a video clip that will purely discuss on some of the foods that may cause constipation. These are the things that mom could be consuming and now the baby is suffering constipation. But usually the commonest of them all is dairy and dairy products. So if you're feeding your baby exclusively on breast milk and all of a sudden your baby develops constipation, the first thing to remove from your diet is usually the dairy and the dairy products. If your baby is on formula and then they're experiencing constipation, usually the best thing is to change the formula. Change the brand of the formula. Usually there are so many brands in the market, so the best thing is usually do a trial and error. Try to see which formula will work with my baby. You might have to go 2, 3, 4, 5 formulas before you really are able to get a formula that will work for your baby. And for the babies who are much older, those who have already started taking solid, that means you've done your weaning and now they're experiencing, this is usually one of the biggest cause of constipation, having less vegetables in your baby's diet. Usually this is what I said, when you're doing the weaning, the baby's food should literally be green. This has worked for so many parents. And basically, you don't want to have constipation. That's when you start changing the diet. The best thing is to have enough fruits and vegetables from the word go. Those who have had their babies have constipation, they know it is such a frustrating sight to see your babies training to poop, crying, passing poop with blood stain, and really there's nothing you can do to help them. They just have to push it, and they just have to push it by themselves till when the poop comes out. So the best thing is put extra fruits and vegetables on your baby's diet. Again, whole grains foods. Avoid processed foods. Usually what processing does, it removes the fiber. So all the white things, if you're doing white rice, you're doing your white pasta, you're doing white bread, those are not good for a baby who's just being weaned. The best thing is do whole grains. So go for brown bread, go for brown rice, go for brown pasta. Go, if you're doing, you can do whole oatmeal porridge as well. So that's the best thing. If you're weaning your baby, go for whole grain foods vis-a-vis processed foods. Avoid breakfast cereals. I think we discussed this in our previous clip on weaning. You can go back and check on it for more details. But the best thing is most of the breakfast cereals are over processed, so they risk constipation. There are some fruits, again we discussed this in our previous clip, things like pawpaw, they usually cause constipation. Things like pure millet porridge, they do cause constipation. So if you are giving your child any of these things and they are constipated, please stop giving them this and then see if their bowel habits will also change. Another technique of easing constipation at home is massaging. We all know that it is good to massage your baby, not only because of gas, because we usually do that to ease the colic pains, but also to increase the bowel movements. So usually you massage your baby. You can do it twice a day, you can do it thrice a day. Some usually do it after shower, some do it before shower, some do it when they're changing their baby. Whatever time you want, it is okay. The best thing is do it in the right way. So usually you start on the right side, going to the left in a clockwise motion. The detail of the technique, just check on the comment section. Hydrating your baby, make sure your baby takes water. Yes, if your baby is weaned, remember we had said also water is a food group, which means for a balanced diet to be balanced, water has to be there. So remember, after every meal, your baby has to take water. If you have also weaned your baby and you think your baby's stools are very hard, one of the ways to make soft is giving this baby pure prune juice or pure apple juice. What usually happens is the sugar in this prune or apple juice is a bit complex for baby to digest, and so what happens, this sugar will be left in the intestine, and if there's sugar in the intestine, automatically water follows it, and that makes the poop softer. So really, usually if you just see your baby's poop is starting to change, this is the first thing you can do. That is if your baby has been weaned. If this happens when you're doing exclusive breastfeeding, please remember to see a pediatrician before giving anything apart from your breast milk. So that's it for the things that you can do at home to ease constipation. Let us know if it works. Thank you so much. Remember to comment, hit a like and subscribe.